the changing scenario every day. They have to keep themselves updated, because if they are not going to keep themselves updated, it will not be easy to survive in this profession. It's a very competitive profession.
The evolution of mankind have been intervened with conflicts either with each other or against the community in general. Therefore, to preserve the social balance, laws were conceived as mutually agreed upon rules which the society would follow. Law have been deeply linked to the growth of civilization. The purpose of law is to preserve the moral sanctity that binds the society. Therefore, the legal profession is considered a noble profession as it is the upholder and protector of law. It is a service oriented profession which aims to serve society. Hello and welcome to the Honest Talk by Freak Folks. I'm Harsh Pandey. For this particular session, we have with us very special guest today, Dr. Prashant Pratap sir. He is an advocate practicing at the Supreme Court of India. He is a partner with the Pratap and Company. He represents the company in various forums and tribunals. A former dentist, Dr. Pratap has attended many international conferences in the field of dentistry. He has also co-authored a book on general anatomy with a special focus on dentistry. He later established a successfully foundry with a US partner, eventually chose to become a lawyer out of his passion for law. He has been actively involved in matter practicing criminal defense litigation, while white collar crime, medical negligence, and various arbitrations. He is an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators UK and is the secretary of Rotary Club of Delhi Lotus. So, first of all, sir, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and actually agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you, Harsh. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, sir. So, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is what makes a good lawyer, common trait of successful attorneys today. In a difficult, confusing, and complicated situation, individuals and companies may find themselves desperately seeking the guidance of well-prepared and reliable legal professionals. A great attorney has the potential to have a dramatic and positive impact on the life of a client, whether it's by helping them through a difficult family law related matter, protecting them against false charges, or securing fair financial compensation after an accident. Attorneys advocate for people during some of the most challenging time in their life. Lawyers matter. So my very first request to you is please explain to our viewers what are the traits and what are the actually qualities of a good lawyer and what makes a good lawyer.
There are so many qualities of a good lawyer that it will not be easy to discuss in a session of half an hour, but I would like to keep it concise. The basic, what I think in my practice as a lawyer, observing my seniors at the courts, I have personally picked up these things that I think are what most common traits that should be for a very good attorney or litigator in the courts. The first thing that I think is most important for the profession is that you need to have, you have to do the hard work. You have to put in the hours. Being a litigator, being a attorney, being a corporate lawyer, it's not about a 9 to 5 job. It's definitely not a 9 to 5 job, because you have to put in the efforts before that, after that. You, in the morning, you wake up, you have to prepare for whatever matters that are there in the courts that day. You have to prepare for that, your arguments, to go through that. And every day you are facing more than 3-4 cases, 3-4 matters in front of different courts. You have to do that. The other most important thing about law is, as compared to any other field, like the field of medicine, for perhaps, is like law is constantly evolving. It changes every day. Treatment protocols for diseases and medicine, treatment protocols don't change every day. There is a treatment protocol that's been followed for years, and before making a new treatment protocol for any disease, you have to go through a lot of things. You have to go at peer review, then you have to get clinical trials done, then regulatory approvals. So it is takes time to evolve new protocols.
Yes.
In medicine. In law, on the other hand, the biggest distinction between law and any other profession is that we have 25 high courts in India. Okay, we have the Supreme Court, we have tribunals, we have National Commission, we have National Green Tribunal. So there are judgments that are coming every day. And this is because we are a common law based country. The previous judgments of any court is important. We have to cite those judgments in front of the bench, the judge, and that is how we convince the judge that this is the right thing to do. You have to do that in our favor, issue an order in our favor. So you can imagine there's a steady stream of judgments that are coming every day. Every day we have these 25 high courts putting out judgments on all types of law. So you can imagine how many judgments that are going to be there every day. You have to keep on top of that to be with the latest judgment. Parliament is lately very active. We are getting new laws coming up every day. They are doing this. Then they are amending the old acts that are there according to the need of the day. We have a lot of work happening in field lately. Crypto laws are coming, cyber laws are moving on, information technology based laws, drone laws are coming up, space is another frontier where the new, so even law is expanding. It's not, we are still not constrained by the criminal law or the civil law. We are expanding as a field. It is evolving every day. So when I say hard work, that is true. Every litigator, every attorney, lawyers, they have to be on top of that, on top of the changing scenario every day. They have to keep themselves updated, because if they are not going to keep themselves updated, it will not be easy to survive in this profession. It's a very competitive profession.
Right.
That is one of the things that I think is very important. Putting in the hard work, not a 9 to 5 job. Trust me, you have 9 to 5 is what you spend in the court. That's the time you will be spending in the court. After that, you will come back to your chamber. You will go through the files for the next day. You will talk to clients. You will talk to seniors if you have to brief them. So it's definitely not a 9 to 5 job. So yeah, you have to be ready to put in the hard work, 12 hours, 14 hours, whatever it is. It has to be there. This
Exactly,
is one
sir.
of the, yeah. So this is one of the things.
I think you have very beautifully summed up all the things, and I'm sure the people, those who are watching this session, they are also going to find us insightful. And for me, actually, I'm coming for the computer science background. What always fascinated me is that lawyer's uniform, how it appears, and this is something they enter in the courts with. Actually, the kind of the quality or leadership they show. This always inspired me. I have seen many televisions and series. It actually always inspired me, and that's why today I've decided to do podcast with you. And actually we are doing. Sir, my next question to you is, we have seen the COVID-19 pandemic challenges have been challenging for all sectors, including the legal system. New law firms player must be prepared for a wide range of scenarios that might take place in the post-COVID era. Therefore, the law students must be ready for challenging and demanding times. So my question to you is, what do you think, how law students must adopt to meet the demand of a post-pandemic world?
The law students, I think right now, your generation, probably you guys are born in 2000s. So you are already, I think, very well adapted to this changing world, because you are up with the technology, you are up to date with it. You've always been. Your generation has literally been born with broadband and smartphones in your hand while growing up. So I think your generation is pretty well prepared for this. As far as other things are concerned, I think the future, again, I said that law is evolving. So I would recommend that students should, apart from that, you have to make an information repository, about the law, the cases that are happening, the changes that are happening, not just in Indian law, in international law also. You have to, because now there's this whole segment of law, which is like technology, media, telecommunication. That is another part of law. We have intellectual property rights, cyber law is coming up. So you have to keep yourself updated to that. You have to make your own repository. With the advent of the internet, it has become much easier than how traditionally we used to do things, going through volumes of SCC or AIR, looking for the judgments. Now, I think there's a lot of AI searches. They've integrated AI searches in the search engines. You specific words, you can search specific forms, you can search. So it's easier to do that. Technology is, in India, yes, we are evolving as far as that is concerned, but I think the West is way ahead of this. I mean, technology-wise, the West has always been ahead of us. And now they have these AI powered contract management, in which all the contracts of the companies can be scanned, converted with OCR. They can be into machine readable form, and then in AI searches through them for relevant parts of the contracts. So they have these things happening. There are a lot of uh, cloud. They're using cloud lately. The firms have been implementing clouds in India also, cloud based storage. We are digitizing all our documents, all our files. E-filing has started in the courts, in most of the courts here. So that is also happening. But I think basic knowledge of computing, everybody is armed with that, and that is what will be needed in the world in the future.
Okay. I think this was really very meaningful answer for the people those who are watching this session. And sir, my next question to you is: we have seen is that great internship offers a head start to a law student's legal career. So, what are the some tips you would like to recommend to the law students they must take while choosing the internship for them?
I would definitely give one tip, which is very something that most people overlook, but that is something that we were taught by our seniors. We are always very enamored by, when we are interns, we are very enamored by, oh, we want to do internship in the high courts or Supreme Courts. That is there. We all have it. We had it when we were studying. I mean, current generation also has it. But what most of our senior advocates have told us, like me and everybody, they always say that we always overlook the most important thing that a law student should focus on during internship. That is trial court experience, district court and lower court experiences. That is very important, because that is where the law starts. It does not start in the high court, in the Supreme Court. Mostly it doesn't. I mean, you can come with a writ and a petition there, that's okay. But mostly it starts from there. The dispute starts and it goes to the district courts first. So you have to learn what is happening there. You have to have a first-hand experience of trial. So I think it's best that in the starting, you should. And the second most important thing is, you should not limit yourself with one person. Like if you're doing an internship, make sure you spend some time with a lawyer who is dealing in the criminal side of litigation. Then you spend some time with an advocate who is dealing in the civil side of the litigation. That will give you basic fundamental, the whole fundamental that is very important. Because these are the fundamental laws in our country. We have the CRPC, the Criminal Procedure Code, and we have CPC, the Civil Procedure Code. So these things are needed. These are the fundamentals. So you have to focus on that. So one bonus tip I want to give the interns right now, since we are in a pandemic world, and this is something that most are overlooking. I've noticed that a lot of interns are overlooking at this time, is that courts are running virtually. You are aware of it. Everybody is aware of it. Platform for operating high court and Supreme Court right now. So what I would suggest is, this is a great thing, that's a great opportunity that has come in disguise with the pandemic, that the students can actually access the hearing of high courts right now. They can just go to the high court website and find the cause list, check the roster of, and they can choose which court they want to visit, and they can directly visit it and see the proceedings firsthand, which is an opportunity. It is there. As long as the courts are virtually running, anybody can log in. Supreme Court, yes, you cannot log in because that is routed through us, the AOR firms and AORs, the list. But Delhi High Court, for example, they have their entire cause list on the website. So you can actually go there without getting a pass or going through a senior's internship. You can actually directly access the court. And observe firsthand how the seniors are litigating, how the procedures are followed in the court, how the procedure works. So that is one of the things that the students can do right now. So I think that should not be overlooked.
Indeed, sir. I think this is new for all the students who are watching this session, and they are surely going to actually follow this. And as you have, sir, mentioned or stressed on the technology aspects, so I want to ask my next question. Another major aspect is digitization of the legal sector. Globally, higher education institutions have moved to classes online. Apart from this, there is a free-flowing information available on the internet. Students need to demonstrate that they can work with the multiple softwares with availability and flexibility, so their digital expertise to contribute to the existing technologies. Also, we have seen law universities are supporting young minds by providing them with simulation-based teaching, which helps them understand legal procedures up close. So what are some tips you would like to give to law students how they can actually effectively use these resources to meet the growing demands, because there's a information overload?
This is a very good question, actually, because in our profession, information and knowledge is the most important thing, and managing that knowledge and information is the bread and butter of our whole profession. And with the advent of the internet and with the current technology, I think this is very good that it's easier now managing information. Traditionally, you used to have these filing systems and filing cabinets. You used to label it like traditionally 50, 100 years back. That was the way you were filing information. Now you have so many with hyperlinked documents and cloud computing there. It is easier to make your own repository of the knowledge. So what I would recommend students to do is, judgments, download the judgments, get a cloud, subscribe to any cloud service like OneDrive or Google Drive, and start keeping all of that in separate folders, like judgments on separate subjects. That way you will start building up your own repository, formats of writing a particular application, an SLP, a writ, a bail application. You need to have formats for that, giving notices under different sections. Those things you have to have. And the best part of the cloud is that way it is available to you all the time, anywhere. On the go, you will have it on your phone, right? So you have to use that. This is the benefit of this technology, and the best part is, if you're keeping it on your phone, it is easier for you to reference to them anytime you want. You can read the judgment while you're traveling or whatever you're doing. So you can actually utilize that time that would be completely wasted. You can actually use that. So I think it is most important that students, from this point onward, they should start making a repository of these things, which will last them a lifetime.
Indeed, sir.
No,
this is a great advice. And so my next question to you is, or I just wanted to ask to you, what do you think? What are the common mistakes law students usually do while starting his or her career?
Yeah, actually, that would go back to your other question of internship. I would again say the same thing that my seniors told me when I was also excited. I want to go to the practice in the higher forums like High Courts and Supreme Courts. They always told me that no, you have to, for the couple of first few years, 2-3 years of your career, you really have to focus on the trial court work. Trial court work is extremely important for any litigator, for any lawyer. You have to go to the trial courts first. You have to see how cross-examinations are done. You have to see how basic procedures that are followed, that they are done. You have to go through that. And that the kind of exposure you will get in a trial court, you will not get in a High Court or Supreme Court initially. Because see, when you're in a trial court, see, the High Court and Supreme Court, the quality of lawyers are very different. So in trial court, you will also be very comfortable, because the judges in high courts and trial courts, they don't they are at a very different stature. So you are a junior counsel, it is best that you start in the trial courts, gain some trial court experience, which will always in your life will be very useful for your entire career. That is very important, trial court experience. You have to focus on reading. You have to read. I mean, I am saying every day at least read one judgment. When you are a lawyer, you have to read relevant judgments regarding the cases you're doing. But reading is a habit that you have to develop. This has to be internalized in you. You have to read. It's very important. Reading is very important. Third important thing you have to do is focus on your drafting skills. That is most important. Drafting is very important. Writing a petition or an application, submissions, everything. These things have to be focused. In starting of your career, these things are very essential that you have to focus on. Another thing that is important is networking. Networking is very important, since I think you must be aware of the Bar Council prohibits lawyers from soliciting or advertising. So it's not allowed. You cannot solicit new clients, or you cannot advertise your work. It's against it. So you have to network among yourselves, among your peers, with seniors, juniors. It's that network is where most of your work is going to come from, and that network will also act as a resource group that will help you. For example, some of your peers will be specializing in a different kind of law. You may get the same kind of case in the future. You can ask them for their help. They can help you. They can guide you regarding that particular specialized field of law that they're aware of. Networking is another important skill that every junior lawyer, when starting in the courts, should focus on, definitely.
Indeed, sir, actually. And sir, my next question to you is actually you have stressed on the technology aspect. So one more question is that, and to be more specific and precise, how do you think that how has technology has improved the codes, and are we actually really availing infinite possibilities of technology?
Technology has done wonders for our profession. I would say that definitely. I was contemplating a few months back, that what would have happened if this COVID-19 pandemic happened in 2009 instead of
Yes,
2019, when there was no smartphones, no tablets, we did not have broadband, their network speeds were very bad. What would have happened? It would have been
right,
a completely different thing. This work from home thing would have never even happened.
exactly.
Nobody had the resources to make this work.
Uh,
And we as a professional group in India uh, are very fortunate that our court system and our judiciary actually was able to compress half a
hmm,
decade worth of technological changes in 2 months. As soon as the pandemic started in March 2020, the courts were on stream in a couple, in a month. We started virtual hearing. The course started virtual. It took them time to perfect it. Initially, we were not using the right software, so there were a lot of glitches in that. But then they moved on to better softwares. Cisco WebEx we are using currently. We were using video back then, I think. Uh, so that was there. Though, so technology is one of the reason why we were able to survive the pandemic. We as a profession, our hearings kept on happening virtually. So yeah, we were able to do that. Plus technology, we personally use a web crawler based app to update us about the court cases that are coming. We cannot go and check on multiple forums every day, see where the cause list is when our matters are listed. So we have these web crawler based applications that we use on our phones that updates us exactly whenever a new our matters are getting listed. So that has made it very convenient for us. We have websites like SCC Online to find judgments. That is also very important. Or else we had to go through entire library of books, which cost a lot, by the way. SCC books. We have to go through that. But this SCC Online, the subscription service we are using, all of us are using mostly. Uh, so that is very helpful for us, and it's easier. It suppresses that, it compresses the time. We don't have to spend that much time searching. We just enter the keywords. It does an AI search, and we get what kind of judgments we want. That is there. And we have moved towards digitization and e-filing now. The courts have started that. So we're scanning documents. A lot of our firms, including our own firm, we have moved towards a cloud-based system of digitizing and storing our systems, our files, our most of our court orders, everything. So it has made it easier, and definitely, but there's a lot of scope in legal tech in the future. It will
hmm,
take time for us to adopt. The COVID pandemic has been, in this one thing, it has been a blessing that people have been able to, uh, you know, uh, move out of their comfort zone and try new things like working from home and running a court from
right.
the work. Plus virtual meetings. We do a lot of our conferences through Zoom or Microsoft Teams and Google Meet. We do that. So yeah, it is a very good, at least technology wise, we are in the right direction.
This is a great,
Very
I
good.
think this is a very positive and welcome change. We must have to adopt this, otherwise we will be left behind. And sir, I can say there's a lot more to learn from you, but today I don't want to take too much of your time. So moving to my last question of this session, or it's a kind of a request to you, is what will be one piece of advice would you like to give to all the viewers, those who are watching this session? And what do you think, what are your views on the future hold of jobs where they need to focus?
Law specifically, are you talking about?
Future hold of jobs in this profession?
In this profession, right? Law. Okay.
Yes.
Litigation, as far as I can see, it will be there. It is going to be there. It is going to expand because
Hmm.
of new fields in law that are developing lately. Like I've mentioned, the new cyber law
Yeah.
is expanding very rapidly. Intellectual property is expanding very rapidly. Cryptocurrencies, NFTs, that's a whole new field that is coming. Laws are in making. Drone laws are there. Air and space laws expanding. In this whole segment of telecommunication, media, with OTT services coming up, that is also changing. So a lot of things are changing. E-commerce has already you know that has become mainstream now, so even the law related to that is there. So plus when these things will expand, these things will increase, definitely criminal litigation regarding them will also increase. So litigation, it will, I mean, it's a very, you have to do a lot of hard work, but it is a great profession. It's a noble profession. It's a
Yes.
glorious profession if you're going to put in the effort. So I
Right.
think that is there. And hard work is the only one advice that I can give. Definitely developing your communication skills. That is one thing that is very important. That is also there. But hard work is, I think, the most important thing in this profession.
Indeed, sir. I think you have shared some of the very key points with us. And thank you so much for joining and giving your important time. It was a kind of a healthy conversation with you over the topic. And we look for future more possibilities. And again, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Harsh. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Bye.
On the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone.